Hello everybody, Halo Plasma 324. Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. In the last part, we played Risk with Shizune, and we lost. But she admires our fighting spirit. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. And Shizune and Misha want me to join the student council. Or us. I'm not personally in this game, though. If I was, I would probably join the student council. Be student councilman. And I'd be going down the Shizune and Misha path, even though there is not a Misha path. But anyway, here's where we left off. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I had anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside against the side of the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly left the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. "Hello there. May I help you?" Alright, that'll work. Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being a separate room from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distant. Hi, sorry for intruding, I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. Move my mic a little bit. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup itself on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling that, and the slight cleanness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yumaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Asao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. Much as it pains me, I can't keep up with the formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair, and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand awfully lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see her on her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer of preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room are you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup. Let's not get into that, actually. Into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup, indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking toward the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. You think? Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. Guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Oh, I might need to change mine. Sure, sorry. I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking of it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Now notice how Miss Sato here and Miss Hakamichi are both class representatives. Now look at how they wrote this into the story. One representative is blind, one's deaf. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know if it's interesting or not, just seemed to stand out like 5 seconds ago. Whatever. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I've really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, Sal, I didn't mean to keep you in the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Ah, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find that, alright? Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I can introduce you. This gets better and better. Pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, that'd be great. Thanks. Oh. As she stands up to... Goddamn. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together, we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door of the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is a wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everybody's probably either in the school grounds or in the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Oh, I don't know what voice she used. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you today? Her voice is strange in a failing attempt to sound casual as she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk and I was looking for a pencil dropped and I was looking for both of them and you came to surprise me. You alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression. Then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but I missed her celebrations partially for managing to change the subject, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me. Yuko, this is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind, so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import Ford and Brooks books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what I could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How it's any responsibility at all, I don't get, but her objection is so sincere that I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But, so there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops in my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or fourth of Yumaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that be here. It's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. I spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome, they weigh so much, I wish I could quit this job. Very awkward silence follows this revolution of too much information. I'll go check the owls then, if you don't mind. Probably best for all if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. A library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had tea'd with Lily and snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks, set up for study or personal reading. Go a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd student sitting at a desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking toward the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself, as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate, after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts, looking scaredly up me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that a part of her face, at least a third, if not a half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I'm shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands, before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. Just a second. Okay. Alright. Now, the decision it has down for the bad ending actually works into with the Shizune ending, or the Shizune path. So that actually kind of works out, because I'm planning on making saves at, like, different points where I could just start up from that point, where it's going to divide and diverge and all that happy horse, whatever. You know. Anyway, so we want to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. So, do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but... Seat? Seat. Yes. But finally she nods, just a little. Oh, okay. I take the seat next to her, and she hides herself behind her book. I hope you guys can hear me when I'm doing her voice. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. Actually, I saw that book recently. Don't know what it's about, though. So, sorry again for starting you. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We are in the same class. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it's barely audible, even in the still library. Somehow I think my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name, just to have something to say, but really it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being bothered and fussed all about that sort of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books out if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and introduction to the books I picked up, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wandered her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize that she's doing the same, and only pretending to immerse in Life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all, though. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I gotta go do something! Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs toward the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time we reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What'd she look like? Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I better try and find her. Sure, I'll hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I have to explain it to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her candy and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I was just looking for some books and she got this fit and ran off. Most offending thing I can think of is that I might have looked at her general direction a few times. Well, she is a very timid girl. You have to be careful on her. She can be very jumpy, I think, and she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. How should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I'm supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. Well, what? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on this really like doing that. Did you find any books? It should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. It's not... I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh, yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because... I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from inside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and turned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? No, that was kind of the wrong voice. I surprised myself with that too, honestly, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. Couldn't do much else. I see. She didn't say anything else, and just checks out my books for me. Guess this is what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl in my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying, or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? Oop, wasn't supposed to give that away. I turned around to see who was talking to me. It's Kenji. He seemed to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. Just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I don't remember someone who I met only yesterday. What was that today? What day is today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we have met, or you were telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you're a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. I have a feeling his voice is going to go up and down, and I'm going to keep forgetting what it is. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through the thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you can pass this out because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim, maybe at a distance, but who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shank him. Shank him? Shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay here. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I'd stay still, lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I don't know, it said something stupid happened to me. A few stupid things, actually, if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on the other people here, and I've no idea if it's either because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's breath, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we all live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, that's how it is, this world. There's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally. Literally, too. She ran away from me. It was my fault, really. I think. I'm not really used to this all yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face... Guess it could go either way. This does decide a few things. Let's see. How does that affect the other routes? Okay. If you would want to go down the Hanako or Lily path, you say she was. If you want to go down any other path, you say she wasn't. Not exactly cute, no. There are a lot of cute girls here, a strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but didn't you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets, extremely dark, like a black hole. You notice that the number of the school is slightly but insignificantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. He turns his head to the left and stares up into the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear that bad, but that is a full 20%. One would think that a girl with such... I can't speak right, yeah. I think I'm stopping recording after this part. Well, for now, anyway. One would think that a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. What I'm about to say could blow your mind. Are you ready? next time. So, next time on Let's Play Katawa Shoujo, Kenji apparently is going to say something that is going to blow our mind. Take care, guys.